Hey guys, it's Creepy with Elder Granite Games, and I'm gonna do a little thing on what we've heard already of Call of Duty Ghosts, and the multiplayer review. I don't know if I'll do that one in this episode or the next one, just combine them or what. But let me start this video with a disclaimer. This video is not for the Black Ops 2 gameplay. It's for Call of Duty Ghosts.
Gun down, stand
Gameplay is
by.
only put it in as a filler to entertain you. I know I'm not good at Black Ops 2, so just forget about pointing that out. This is the first time I've played online in literally months, probably 3 or 4, maybe more. So obviously I don't know what I'm doing. Also sorry for somewhat bad quality. I'm looking for a new PS3 screen capture card now. For some reason only glitches out like that for Call of Duty or Skate 3. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about CoD. As you all should know, the multi reveal for Call of Duty Ghosts was today, and it just got over at the time of this recording. Just kidding, it hasn't started yet. I'm not a hardcore CoD player. I play it casually, so I'm not going to be very nitpicky when I go ahead and do that video on how it was.
He's gone.
I'm going to be fairly lenient when talking about the next CoD. I don't care about the tiny specifics. I don't know, you know, I don't know a lot about CoD. I mean, I play it casually. But I think my intro is fairly accurate. So, let's get started. Let's get straight into the information. Let me run over a few things about what we already know before the reveal, okay? First, they're aiming to make the game dynamic. They want to add dynamic elements to make it more entertaining. Some of you may know what that means, others may not, so let me explain. Dynamic element in a game is something that can be used, changed, etc., which changes how the game is played, etc., you know.
He's gone.
Changes things, changes the way you have to play it. For example, a bundle of logs that you can go over to and knock over and maybe kill somebody down at the bottom, which is what we saw in the trailer, I believe. That would be a dynamic element because you're able to control what's going on,
Enemy down.
physically changing the environment. Or maybe, for instance, a wire holding up a chandelier that you can cut to make it fall down on top of another player. That'd be kind of cool. That's a dynamic element. Now, dynamic is not the same as cinematic. Let's get that out of the way. Cinematic map element is something that you can't control, but it doesn't affect the map or gameplay in any way. An example of this would be the containers from the map Cargo for Black Ops 2. While it did somewhat affect the gameplay by changing sight, lines of sight, etc., it didn't affect it to the point that I would define it as dynamic. In other games like let's see, that two-player game. I don't know what it is.
Gun down, stand by.
But it's a cool game, and you watch these like buildings fall over. It's really cool, but it's cinematic because it doesn't affect the gameplay at all. You can't go over to the building when it's up. You can't go over to it when it's down. It's just strictly cinematic. You are not in control of whether or not it collapses. It doesn't have any effect on you. Cinematic. So in Ghosts, hopefully we'll be looking at ever-changing, making it harder for pro clans to map out the good routes and that sort of thing, and also make it more in-depth for the clans since they can block off each other's lines of sight, etc. Make it harder for them, and you can take advantage of the map using that, hopefully, since the routes change. For example, maybe you'll have a map in the mountains. There could be like a loud noise that you set off in a certain area, like a grenade or something, that triggers a sort of avalanche that would fall and block off a few of the paths on the map, so you can't walk through it. For instance, you know the map Summit. Well, if there was like a mountain on one side, and then you click the button, and snow fell and covered the building in the middle. Most of the building in the middle. Half of it. Let's say both the doors on the side. You still go up and use that upper part, but the down part you pretty much can't really do anything with. There'd only be one exit. That would be an instance of dynamic element because you're changing the flow of the game. I shouldn't have to explain why that'd be awesome, because it just is. Since it might, keyword might, make it easier for casual gamers to get a higher KD, You know, it might be easier for the casual guys who are just playing by themselves, or maybe the hardcore guys playing just by themselves, to change things for themselves, give themselves an advantage. Next, we know they have a little thing called sub-D. If you're a 3D modeler or animator like me, you should know sub-D stands for subdivide, and know what it means. However, I don't think many of you know, so I'll explain. Subdivide is a feature in most 3D modeling programs that allows you to take one poly, which is a face. So a wall would be one poly. It's flat. It has to be. You take multiple polys and you put them together and you make seemingly round objects. For instance, faces. You can make cones, cylinders, etc., with multiple polys. Now what subdivide does is it takes one poly and cuts it into multiple polys while keeping it as one object. So you can make something round or cylindrical or with more polys. The downside is of course central processing.
Gun down, stand by.
This allows you to get higher detail in your models with, like, for instance, faces and that sort of thing, higher details, etc. The downside to sub-D is processing power, obviously. It can slow down the gameplay, which is not that good. And it's a one-time thing. You have to use it pre-development. You can't use it post-development or while playing. Now, but what CoD Ghost is going to do is it's going to take this feature and make it happen in real time while you're playing, which has never been done before in a game. So what this means is if you're far away from an object, it will decrease the amount of polys. So there's less strain on the processor. And you don't need those polys to be far away from it. You really can't tell the difference anyway. But it puts less strain on the processor to make faster gameplays, faster SPS. And so, yeah. And then on the other side, it can make things higher detailed. It can add more polys to an object when you're close to it. So it will have a higher detail. The downside is that it adds strain to the processor. Slow down your frame rate. But because it's taking away polys as well as adding them where you need, so taking away from where you don't need them and adding to where you need them, it doesn't basically it doesn't sacrifice frame rate, because it's a win-win basically. Win-win-win. Higher frame rate, higher detail, etc. It's really, really cool. Last thing I want to go over before we go into the reveal, which will probably be in a different video, so check that out, as they improve bump mapping. What bump mapping does is creates artificial texture. So instead of adding polys to make an object round, you can add a bump map to a single poly instead, and make some parts of the face bulge out while others sink in, creating an artificial depth to your poly. So you don't have to add more polys to make it look good. You just have to add that bump map. It takes it's less demanding on the processor, and it can work really good. Now the downside is you can't bump map very far normally. But what Infinity Ward did was improve it so you can bulge out farther and make it look cleaner, and add it to different parts. It's really, really cool. So now instead of walking on the ground and you see rocks there, but they're flat rocks, instead of that, we'll have a bump map on those rocks, and they'll seem to bulge out and look like actual rocks. And the good thing about that is it looks more realistic, adds more depth to the game. But it doesn't sacrifice your frame rate because you don't have to add those extra polys to make it look like that. You're still taking a little strain on the processor, not nearly as much as adding the polys though, and it creates very smooth, fluid gameplay with added detail, which is really cool. In my next video, I'll be going over the multiplayer reveal, which is going to start really soon for me. So, hope you guys look forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time. And the multiplayer reveal is officially over. I just saw it. There's so much information they just gave us. I don't think I could possibly go over it all in a short amount of time. So I'm going to run over the most important things as fast as I can. I took a couple notes. I'm not going to go back and watch it again to get all the specifics, because I'm sure there will be tons of other people who are going to do that. So go watch one of their videos after this one. But I'm going to run over the most basic things, most important things. Okay, So first off, some of the features for it that they showed off are not going to be for this generation console. They're only going to be for PC, PS4, Xbox One, not PS3 or Xbox 360. That includes Sub D, the improved bump mech features, some other things. Now that was probably the coolest trailer, probably reveal I've ever seen. Like, I am so pumped for this game. I wasn't planning on getting it until I got a PS4, which would probably be 6 or 7 months ahead for me. But now I'm really looking into it because this just looks insane. Because all the features pretty much that they're saying, if you get it now for the PS3, then when you decide to upload or for the Xbox 360, then when you decide to upgrade to the next console, so PS4 or Xbox One, all the stuff that you got, including your season pass and all sorts of things, goes with you into the next generation, so you don't have to start all over. So you keep your progress, you keep your plans, all sorts of stuff. Also, if you want to go play at your friend's house, you don't have to use their people, you don't have to play as a guest. You can sign into your account and you'll still have all your classes, all your stuff, perks, everything. And it's just freaking insane. Now, it does have to be the same family, so if you have a PS3 and you want to upgrade, you have to go with PS4, otherwise you don't get that extra stuff. If you have an Xbox 360, you have to go with Xbox One, or you can't get that stuff. If you go from 360 to PS4, you have to start all over. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Okay. Now, it looks like we saw a couple kill streaks, including one where you got to stand on the helicopter and shoot as your character, not just shoot a gun like a semi-gun, you know, from the helicopter, like a Huey from Black Ops. It's not like that. You're actually on the helicopter and you're shooting with your normal gun. That's what we saw. Okay. My favorite part is the destructible environments. You can destroy pretty much everything. The Odin Strike is completely massive destruction. It destroys buildings, destroys statues, destroys all this kind of stuff. Like, very, very dynamic. Dare I say, more dynamic than Battlefield 4. I don't know what Battlefield 4 is going to bring to us, but Ghosts is putting up a really high standard. I never liked the Infinity Ward games. Don't hate me, but I thought the Modern Warfare series was too bland. Not enough color, everyone blended in with their environment. I never liked it, so I never played those ones. But now Infinity Ward, it seems to have earned my respect big time with how much they've done. We saw the Dragonfly is definitely going to be a new... the kill streak is going to return to us. We saw different kinds of things. We saw, let's see, 7 new game modes, they're saying. Call of Duty Anywhere with tablets and smartphones like normal. 7 new game modes, I don't know if you said that. You can play as female characters, total customization of your avatar. You can customize the head, the body, all that kind of stuff. They have improved vaulting and turning around corners smoothly without button mashing, button combo stuff. More than 30 new weapons. New weapon class, marksman rifles. Now this would be the class for me, because when I take a rifle I try and be a marksman with it, but I'm usually not that good with it, because they're not designed to, but they're adding marksman rifles, which allows you to have scoped semi-autos or iron sight single shot assault rifles, which is really insane. They also have this thing called dual render, which allows you to maintain your peripheral vision while aiming down the sights. Their new create a class system is similar to the Pick 10 system, but with free tacticals and perks and some of the free stuff. What you do is you have basically points, and you have a certain amount of points to spend for each of your things, like primary, secondary, etc. And you get to go and do that, okay? And then you have your new selection method for the perks. Actually, points range from 1 to 5. Okay, you have 8 points that you can use for your perks. Each perk costs 1 to 5 points each, and you can pick as many as you want so long as you don't go over that 8-point limit. Now you can extend your 8 points to 11 points by not taking like secondary weapons and things, so you have more points for more perks. So in theory you could get 11 1-point perks, and you could run around with 11 perks. Or you could do 2 5-point and a 1-point. You could do anything. They say they have 20 new kill streaks, including Juggernaut Maniac, Vulture, Odin Strike, Riley the Guard Dog, who will growl when enemies are nearby, sort of like a radar system, which is really cool. They have objective-based kill streaks like in Black Ops 2, so if you do objectives, you can still get points for your kill streaks. It's not just based on kills. Now, like Modern Warfare 3, they have the kill streaks in 3 different packages. I don't remember what they're called because I never played Modern Warfare 3. I mean, I played it a couple times, but they're in packages, so like offensive, defensive, and support. I don't know what they are, but like that. It's like that again. Now, the UAV is, instead of a UAV, they have this ground. It's like this little car, sort of, on the ground. Instead of in the air to shoot down, you have to run around the map trying to find these guys' UAVs, and which they can keep closely guarded if they need to, which I think is really cool because it actually allows you to protect your UAVs so you can keep your radar, and that is pretty cool. They took away death streaks. You can earn XP with squad. You have 10 characters in your squad. Each squad mate has different unlocks, different perks, or prestiges, different XPs. Everything's different in your squad. So you have 10 squad people. Now, the only bad thing about this is they can only prestige once. Each squad person only prestiges once. But when you prestige, you get to keep all your unlocks and things. Or when moving to the next, so you have 10 different people you can choose from in your squad, and each one levels up, to 1 prestige. So if you use one a lot, only that guy's going to level up, and your other guys aren't going to level up at all. Okay, we got contextual lean, natural leaning without adding button combos, knee sliding, natural transition from sprinting to prone or crouch, which I think could be really good. I just wish they still had dolphin dive because I really like that. Locational battle chatter is a really cool one. Your teammates in game, not your actual physically talking people, but the AI will tell your teammates what just happened, what you just did, what you saw. For instance, you killed someone, your guy will physically shout out, "Hey, I just killed that guy," or if you see somebody in a building and they're coming to attack, your guy will shout out to your other teammates, "Hey, they're coming from the back entrance," and it's things like that. So to keep your teammates aware of what's going on, which I think could be really, really cool. Audio changes are based on real time and are different from large metal space. It will sound completely different than what it sounds when you're in a carpeted room, so it will automatically transition with the audio changes room to room, so it won't sound the exact same, which is really insane. We saw some new game modes, Cranked, Search and Destroy Squads, squads have a lot of different things like war games and I don't even know, Safeguard, Squad versus Squad, where it's squads is solo, co-op, or competitive. You can play against AI or other people. Progress goes towards multiplayer, so you get your XP and all things. All skill levels. AI are supposed to be more like humans than ever. They're corner camp, they'll jump shot, they'll drop shot, they'll act insanely humanoid and really make you mad. Okay, Search and Rescue is essentially S&D with revivable people. When you die, you drop a dog tag. If the teammate picks up that dog tag, you're permanently dead. Okay? If your teammate picks it up, you get respawned, which is really cool. I have to really go through this fast. Okay. Other things, Cranked, you get kill and go faster. So you run faster, you can aim down the sights faster, you reload faster. The only difference is you get a countdown clock. If you do not get a kill within a certain amount of time, you will explode, you will die. We saw some maps, 2 of them to get octane, which is one of the gas stations. You can destroy walls to get different lines of sight. Blow up the gas station to kill people around it. They said there is a hidden care package there that you can find to give you care package. Well, Strike Zone, which is the baseball stadium, which is supposed to be small and close quarters, which is what they played Cranked at when they played it. The mini map is smaller. I don't know. This is something I noticed. The mini map is smaller, and there's info on the top right. You know, when you kill somebody, it tells you they killed them. It's normally in the bottom left, but now it's in the top right. As of the video we saw, as well as you can pull up that screen that tells you who's who has how many kills and how many deaths. It pulls up on the top right. The GUI is not in your way at all. It's really cool. You can have clans. They have clan v clan matches. You can actually build up your clans and sort of things like that. GUI really isn't in your way at all. If you order the season pass and get next console after you have your season pass for this console, if you get the same console for the same family, so PS3 to PS4 or Xbox 360 to Xbox One, it goes with you. So if you upgrade to PS4, you don't have to buy that extra season pass and all that DLC and stuff. That's about all I can talk about today. A couple other things I saw, just a couple things. There was a grind game mode. They didn't say what it was, and there was a blitz game mode. Those are the only other two I caught. And that's about as much as I can talk today. The video probably ended a little bit ago, but anyways, that's about as much as I could talk about. Go watch some other videos, because I honestly couldn't give you nearly enough information as I wish I could have. I wish I could have given you more, but there's just so much to talk about I can't even. And no one in one video could. So go watch some other videos on it. Stay tuned. I might do some more stuff later. I don't know.